Hello and welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to be finally, Assassin's Creed 3. I've been looking forward to this game for so long. It is one of the games that I had to wait to play, because when I first got it I didn't have the computer ability to play it. At the time, I was in a relationship with someone who had a fairly advanced laptop, and by advanced I mean it had Windows 7, I think, which was a requirement. My PC was still on whatever was installed. Anyway, I managed to get the game to run on her laptop very badly, so I actually had to wait I think a couple of years before I played Assassin's Creed 3. It just sat there in my Steam library, collecting dust. And then when I eventually did play it, I 100%ed it. Many years later, Ubisoft decided to release a remaster. So today, for the first time ever, I'm playing Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. I have no idea what is different about this game. I assume it's going to be a huge leap forward graphically. Beyond that, I can't speculate. But this is a first time experience for me, even though it's sort of a game I've played before. Also, it's been a very long time since I played 3. So I'm not going to remember everything. Now, let's begin. In fact, I'm going to turn that gain off. I don't think I need that. There we go. Quite a mic, but reasonable. Anyway, what fantastic menu music. I thought it was so good hearing it just now. I had to start stream, even if I wasn't ready. And now I am. Let's begin. Unfortunately, the main menu splash screen disappeared because I alt-tabbed, but it was the Assassin's Creed 3 logo with remastered at the bottom. Let's begin. Start new game! It's me! Oh, right, it took a very long time to get this to actually work today, because it turns out the CD key for this game is not available. I got remastered by buying Odyssey, and you have to install Odyssey. That means downloading 80 something gigabytes, installing 108 gigabytes, and launch the game before it then says, "Thank you for buying this game. We're going to activate all these things in Odyssey plus the 3 in Liberation remastered." So I had to do that just now, which took ages, even with my gigabit internet speed, because the computer read-write speed isn't fast enough to get out. So, let's begin. Hey, Daddy, welcome back. Writing the AC3 review script. Nice, nice, nice. Excited? I'm excited too. Let's go.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up.
Is Desmond's
or laughed
dad?
them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should
I
have.
forgot to enable subtitles.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no
Daddy.
ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group.
Oh, there's that
the
Borgia
same
guy.
group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors.
It
holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can.
His face changed again.
His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
They always do that. They change his facial features to match his ancestor of the game. So now he'll look... I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say. Do I miss Ezio yet? No, I think we've played this game long enough. I'm glad to move on for a while. Oh, why is there a bit... Oh, the frames are chugging. What's going on?
We're here.
Are you seeing those lag spikes? The frame drops? Hopefully this is a one-time problem. It's supposed to be remastered, not laggy.
Let's go.
Is this slight cartoony look part of the remaster? I don't remember them looking like that. Alright, let's see if just looking around causes frame drops. So I'm trying to keep my mouse movement steady and at the same speed. I'm seeing some choppiness. Oh dear. Keep giving me feedback, okay guys? Throughout the stream, as you notice the little lag spikes, tell me how bad it gets. If it gets really bad, we can close the game, restart it as administrator, try a few other things. I've also turned my... Oh, that was a huge jump there. I turned my antivirus off because it was slowing down the download of Odyssey, which I needed to do to get this game. So I know the AVG antivirus isn't interfering. Those are some huge spikes! Oh my gosh, this is pretty bad. Alt F4. Let's try run as admin. I did notice there were discussions on Steam about lag spikes and stuff, so I will read that in a second if that is an issue. Sometimes running as admin just fixes a whole load of things, so hopefully that was it. I could try turning down shadows. That's usually a big one. Ah, right, you guys didn't get to see this screen before. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Battles, welcome back. He is starting to play AC3. Nice. If you're fast enough, you might catch up to me. Let's just single player and I guess go through the intro again. So if you know what ancestry is in this game, you'll see that it looks more like it this time. Right, let's see. Any lag spikes? Any frame drops? Looking okay. Oh, there's a little one. But only a little one. It didn't jump 90 degrees this time. That complete stopping of motion is just me repositioning the mouse. That seems better, doesn't it? Yeah? Maybe it was a one-time deal for first time launching the game? Alright, well, let me know how it goes, okay? I don't know how to run, and I left them, they've gone way ahead. They're there, waiting for me. Well, that's not an ancient looking wall now, is it? Unless... And now... It's supposed to be remastered, and yet the graphics of the little wall look so bad. You can see the individual pixels then, the stretched, smeared JPEGs. That vector lighting is okay, but the darkened version of the pattern...
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
See there at the bottom of the door, the little bit was super low res. Eesh. I hope we don't have a constant mix of super high graphics and super bad graphics. Oh no. Hopefully that's just level loading in. I'm in him. I guess I'll go on ahead.
I think we're here.
Don't usually see Desmond with the apple, so this is a bit of a treat. Watch him just turn around and use it on everybody. Wait, where is it? He's not holding it, it's not on his belt. You need lighters from that stick. And he lost the light. GG. Ah, shift is run. Finally, they made the game controls make sense. Shift is run, not right click. Something weird with his face. I don't know if it's the remaster or not. Oh, it looks like one of those things from Subnautica. How's the sound? Can you hear me okay with the music? I removed the gain that I did yesterday when Dead Space was being far too loud.
The key. You must find the key.
Son?
Sir.
Oh. That's... Uh-oh.
Here we go again.
He's reliving memories without the Animus.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
This is how they check you're okay.
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Digital
Son,
dust.
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for,
The
by the way.
skybox has a top.
It's a key.
Ha!
Just no idea where it is, though.
That's overlooked.
I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
There's a map.
All right.
There's nothing there.
What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
Why is there a map over there, but there's land here? What? What's up with that? Did they build this tutorial area just outside of a part of the real game, and they forgot to put it far enough away to hide the map on the minimap? Wait. Have we got the map? Yeah? Yeah? No? Okay. So, I don't know what's going on there. Uh-oh. Hold shift to run, yeah. Wait. I don't even need to press space, it just works by itself. Okay, this is very different.
Let's practice climbing on these objects.
Okay. This is so much better than having to hold right click to run, and then space to run more, and to parkour. Ah, yes, the long leap. I don't even have to do the silly little spam jump button to go and then accidentally fly off the wall and die because he flew hundreds of meters. It's so much
Free
easier.
run your way through this little obstacle course.
I'm glad they abandoned the previous controls, to be honest. They were getting messy. They had been messy for a while. Whatever. It's more like Mirror's Edge now, isn't it?
That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate.
What's a constraint? What are you talking about? Perform an air assassination? Is that
Alright,
what you're
Desmond.
about?
Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
Missing frames there.
All you have to do here is jump the gap.
Jump it where? Oh, onto that. So you'll discover later in this game that we can climb on things that aren't just buildings. So making it this much easier to use control system is a huge bonus of that. I don't want to spoil what it is because there are so many things to discover in this game if you've never played it before.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Is this Haytham Kenway? Escape to view progress. Refresher course. Main mission sequence 1. Perform an air assassination. Synchronize with your ancestor. It is? Yes. Ah, and they're split it up to be easier to understand where things are. This is so much better instead of just going through every single DNA slot. Man, I'm so glad they did this. This isn't just part of the remaster, by the way. This is how it was before. I just forgot because it's been so long. Oh, I'm so glad they did this. So there is a bit of map for real. They didn't mess up after all. Okay, so I was talking earlier when I started the stream about how I tried to play this game when it first came out. It required Windows 7, I think, and my computer didn't have that. My girlfriend at the time did have a laptop with Windows 7, and I tried to play the game. I got here, and as it was trying to build the environment, I was getting 1 frame every few seconds. At that point, I decided I'll have to wait a few years to play the game. So this is as far as I got when I first tried to play. Years later I then played it, 100%ed it, and now it's many, many years later I'm doing the remaster. So I can't exactly remember what the old one was like compared to this. I did remember that Desmond's face is a bit funky.
Sir.
And it always changes depending on his
Everything
ancestors.
all right, sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Frame drop. Not as many frame drops as I was getting in Unity back in the day, but still, that's a bit concerning. I could go in there, but what's over here? I can't. What about this way? Nope. Okay.
Invitation, please.
Theatre Royale Compliment God.
Shall I take your coat, sir?
Not necessary. Ah, this is like that hotel in
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hitman.
you are requested to kindly find your seats.
The lighting on his face is awful. He's so potato clay. His eyes are glowing as well. That guy's shaking as he's moving. I think it's the lighting on him. How do you do? Greetings, old chum.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
Are those all 3D rendered people in the distance, or are they an animation? I don't think they all have faces. You see they stand up and look to the side? I don't think those ones actually have a face. Yeah, they're all low-res people, the ones down there. How weird that you would make them do that as the randomizer, just stand up, look to the left. Stand up, look to the right. It looks so weird. Anyway, where am we going? Here? Here? Ah, excuse me. Pardon me. Would you mind if I just slip through? Ah, thank you. Cheers. Much obliged. Ah, fine.
Good evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
It looks like a certain actor.
No, I'm afraid it won't.
Can't remember who.
On to business then. Do you see him?
See who? The guy on stage? Yeah, I think everyone sees him. Oh, that guy. Is that our target?
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
Don't say I'm gonna jump around the balconies in front of the whole crowd and they're not gonna notice.
Since we live by 'em.
Can I...
So, lack more that sick word of trial comes on.
excuse me.
1,000 pardons.
One must use the restroom.
My apologies. I'm so sorry.
Major calls if you get my drift. Animated database, Reginald Birch. So it's a scoop to hit those now. Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. I hope that's not busted throughout and it's just a first time issue. Reginald Birch, 1705. Reginald Birch was a London merchant, the son of another London merchant, who, conveniently enough, had the last name Birch. It seems it was one of those hard to put your finger on things that ran in the family. Shut up, Sean, with your pathetic jokes. Please don't be that bad through the entire game. Oh my gosh, that's a bad start. Birch started in business for himself at an early age. By the time he was in his mid-20s, he already owned several merchant ships, mainly dealing with the tea trade to the American colonies. That's pretty good going, seeing as by the time most people are in there... Now, I haven't pressed the key yet. I really hope what I'm about to do works, because I am sick of clicking the tiny little up and down arrows when we go on these menu pages. Please let the scroll wheel or the up and down arrows work. Scroll wheel doesn't work. Down arrow does. Okay, I can work with that, that's fine. I hate having to go to the tiny few little pixels and click, click, click. Especially when you're trying to be fast, you know. Anyway, it's pretty good going, seeing as by the time most people are in their mid-20s, they don't even own a shirt. I have him as part owner of the Providence, among others. Later in life, Birch also owned several businesses in and around London. He was a member of White's, which was a posh gentleman's club in London, and generally a well-known and respected man about town. From what I can tell, Birch met Hatham Kenway while working for his father, Edward. Wait, are we playing as We're playing as Hatham right now. Edward, his father. Okay, I thought Edward was somebody else. I might be confusing people. Anyway, let's continue. They were introduced at White's while Hatham was still quite young. Birch would eventually take over Hatham's education, tutoring him while on a tour of Europe in the 1730s. From what we've seen in the Animus, it seems their friendship continued into adulthood, with them working together as members of the Assassins. Cool. The thing on the right is a scroll you can drag up and down. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's fine, that's good as well. But a scroll wheel would be nice. Up down arrows are good. Having to click a teeny little tiny bit is just a nuisance. And that's how all the games prior to this have been. Except I think the first one didn't do that. I think the first one was fine. Don't remember. That's something to put in your review, by the way. Controls, navigating menus, especially when you're trying to be quick playing the game. You know, taking a break from the gameplay to read a huge load of text, then having the chore of click, click, click on that teeny little thing. It can ruin it. It can slow things down. But this one's okay. Up down arrow is good. I guess we'll read through all of these real quick, seeing as they're here. I don't know why Sean is here and the rest of the team aren't, but I guess he wrote his own thing just to remind us who he is. And so if any of the stuff in Revelations caused any brain damage and memory loss at least, Sean, will be our best buddy, right? That's his plan. Sean Hastings, birth year, yeah, nice try. What a weird birth date. Sean Hastings is one of the few members of the Assassins who wasn't raised to join the Order. He was recruited as a teenager after his investigations into Abstergo Industries made him a target for the Templars. I always thought it's weird that they call them Templars with an S. I thought Templar was the singular and plural, like sheep. But whatever. Hastings has a gift for organisation, and as such the Assassins would be lost without him. His talent for making connections between historical events, his With his talent for making connections between historical events, he's widely regarded as the most intelligent person in the Order. And by widely regarded as the most intelligent person in the Order, I mean he is the most intelligent person in the Order. So he says, in the thing he wrote about himself. So much ego. You may think he's an arrogant guy, but that's only because he's smarter than you, and like a less than able teenage girl, you find yourself not yet secure enough to move past your inherent and powerful feelings of joyless jealousy and simply appreciate me for who I am. Gosh, Sean, calm down. Oh good, you're actually reading these. I was beginning to wonder if I was wasting my time, because you know how much I love wasting my time. Now, make me some tea, would you? Shut up, Sean, I'm doing the busy work. Altair ibn Lahad, born 1165. Altair was born into the Assassin Brotherhood in the stronghold of Masyaf. His early life wasn't a happy one. His mother died during childbirth. Then, when he was a young boy, his father was killed during the first siege of Masyaf. Only shortly thereafter, the assassin he died to save committed suicide in front of the 11-year-old Altair. With his parents gone, Altair looked to Al-Mualim, the then mentor of the Order, as a father figure. Al-Mualim recognised Altair's potential and took on his training personally. Altair reached rank of Master Assassin by the age of 25, an unheard of accomplishment. If there was an assassin book of records, there'd probably be a picture of this fella on the front. Altair was one of the best fighters in assassin history, with an arrogance to match. For a while, until he was humbled. After a disastrous mission in 1191 in which he broke the creed and very nearly let an apple of Eden fall into Templar hands, Altair was sent back down to novice rank and forced to begin again. As part of his rehabilitation, he was responsible for taking out the major players in the Templar Order at the time, including the Grand Master Robert de Sable. Tragically, in the end, he was also forced to kill Al-Mualim, who turned out to be both a Templar and corrupted by the influence of the apple. After his mentor's death, why have you put a full stop there? There should be a comma. After his mentor's death, Altair took control of the Order, turning it into the secret and world-spanning organisation it is today. One of the things that made Altair such a deadly assassin was something we now call eagle vision, a kind of sixth sense inherited from the first civilization. It allowed him to read his enemies and surroundings in a way that goes beyond what the human eye can see. Of course, you'll know more about that than me. I can't believe I just typed that. Because it's in your blood, and that's part of why you're here. Well, let's be honest, you knew you weren't there because of my enduring affection or my warm and passionate cuddles. Shut up, Sean. You say Altair, aka the best assassin. Debatable, because he was in the first game and so he had lesser abilities because every game after that built upon him. If he had his own special traits, then they wouldn't get used in later games and people would complain, so it's just unfortunate he was in the first game and no follow-up games. I'm sure he was slightly in some of the Ezio stuff, but never with like new abilities or anything. He did a really good job though of flowering the Brotherhood from just one location to worldwide. That is definitely something he managed to do well in. The best Ezio did was help 2 locations. Or 3? Maybe 3. Ezio Auditore. Ezio Auditore di Firenze was a master assassin during the Italian Renaissance, as well as being an inheritor to the mysterious ability of eagle vision and one of your ancestors. Ezio was something of a playboy in his teenage years, but his life changed in 1476 when his father and brothers were arrested and executed for treason. Ezio tried to save them, but the evidence clearing their names mysteriously disappeared in the hands of a family friend. Instead, they were hanged as Ezio looked on. Ezio fled with his mother and sister to Monteregione, where he sought refuge with his uncle, Mario Auditore. While Ezio had originally intended to continue on and settle in Spain, Mario had other ideas. He was the leader of the Italian assassin brotherhood and spent the next several years training Ezio and convincing him to help fight the Templars responsible for the deaths of his father and brothers. Ezio spent the next decade assassinating his way through the Templar ranks, eventually cornering the Templar Grand Master Rodrigo Borgia in Venice in 1487. Borgia got away. No. Ezio let Borgia go. He spared him, which is a bad idea. But Ezio was able to recover an Apple of Eden and was formally inducted into the Assassin Order. After several setbacks over the next few years, Ezio travelled to Rome in 1499 to confront Rodrigo, who by then had become Pope Alexander VI. After defeating Rodrigo but sparing his life... Oh, okay, maybe I was wrong, because that's where he spared his life. Ezio opened a hidden vault under the Sistine Chapel. There he discovered a message left by the first civilization, warning of a catastrophe that would threaten to wipe out humanity. Yes, that would be the one we're facing right now. Over the next 20 or so years, Ezio worked at strengthening the Italian assassin brotherhood and fighting the Templars, which is sort of what we do. One of his greatest accomplishments would be discovering a hidden library belonging to Altair, hidden under the former assassin stronghold at Masyaf, and containing another message from the first civilization. He retired from the Brotherhood shortly thereafter, which is what we call ending on a high note. He was terrific at jumping too. Ezio died in Florence in 1524. There's no mention here of Constantinople, Istanbul, and all of that stuff. Come on. He died in Florence 1524, so he was 65 years old. Okay, reasonable age for those days. Not that reasonable nowadays. Let's continue. Ah, there's more stuff. Locations. Other. Theatre Royale. You might hear this referred to as Covent Garden, which it faces, or the Royal Opera House, which it later became. However, this is the original Theatre Royal building. Opened in 1732, destroyed by fire in 1808. It will be rebuilt, then destroyed by fire again in 1857, and then almost completely renovated in the 1990s. They've installed a smoke detector this time. The original theatre lineup was varied, containing ballet, operas, even acrobatics. Many of Handel's operas opened here right up until his death in 1759, when he mysteriously stopped writing them, but the building was mainly used for presenting plays, at least for the first 100 years of its history. The reason? It held the exclusive rights to perform spoken drama in London, awarded by King Charles II. Yes, kings could do that, though why they would is beyond me. Yeah, it's kind of dumb, isn't it? We've got all these potential theatres, but only that one is allowed to do this entire genre, this huge genre. So dumb. Okay, let's go. We still haven't even reached any action. What, I've been streaming for 40 minutes and not done any action yet. You're gonna make me crawl around in front of everybody. It's so silly. People would notice. Why, hello there. I can't pop my head over. They're not gonna notice, that's fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a bit graphic. Huh? Oh, that's right. What's going on here? Why did she keep doing the robot? Oh, excuse me, we're late. We need to take our seats. Why is she crossed out? A lot of people in that one.
Observation is right. We as the surgeons are more beholden to women than all the professions besides.
trial comes on in the afternoon.
This guy's just getting wasted in the back.
So as to bring her on.
Oh, here we go. This booth is not occupied, if it's even a booth. Pick lock. Oh, is there a mini game? Move the left and right to locate. Hold the tension angle. You have to move up and down to locate and hold the braking angle. Press the mouse buttons to break the lock. Oh, not just pick it. That wasn't a good idea.
I've got a bit of stage fright.
A little Dodge courage will put a bloom in your cheek.
The Beggar's Opera. The Beggar's Opera opened in London in 1728. It's a musical, one of the earliest ever created. It was written by John Gay, a writer and friend of both Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift, two of the prominent literary figures of the day. The opera was both popular and controversial. Popular partly because it was an excellent skewering of Italian opera, which was very popular at the time. However, instead of complicated Italian songs, the Beggar's Opera featured folk tunes that the audience could recognise, meaning you could hum along even if you didn't know Italian. That's good. It was controversial because of the subject matter. It's set in the Newgate prison and the main characters are all criminals, who act much like the upper classes. It was a send-up of the British nobility, including veiled criticism of the head of government, neither of whom traditionally have a sense of humour. I've never met a queen who liked a knock-knock joke. Actually, I've never met a queen. Shut up, Sean. Is that just going to be my catchphrase through the whole of this game's playthrough? Shut up, Sean. I hope not. The Beggar's Opera was accused of being a base form of entertainment, and because its main characters were criminals, accused of causing increasing crime. Oh, they blamed the opera for an increase in crime. It's nice to see that criticism isn't just for movies and video games. Bloody opera corrupting our kids. Yep. It's always someone's fiction's problem, isn't it?
Burning tonight is a marvel.
Is there anything to loot? No. Don't spook him. Do a quiet, clean kill.
Haytham.
Ah.
You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes. But then you would have known. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
As am I.
Oh, good heavens.
Kill the child. Kill the child.
No, what is it Alex Jones says?
Destroy the child.
Come, please!
Nobody noticed that we are leaving the area.
That man there! Seize him!
Oh!
A man was killed!
Oh yeah, he did it. Oh, I wouldn't go for first.
Any weapons?
I beg your pardon, madam. Did you notice
And we're safe.
Did they fight for the killer?
The space shift this time.
certain. Try to remember.
Order! We must have order! Order! We must have order!
It happened
We
right
must
at
leave
that
at
balcony.
once.
What are those
There's
men
a killer
doing in
about.
there?
I'm staying where it's safe.
Peace, friends! There is no danger! Move! Move! Imbecile!
Oh, yeah, let's follow those people. Yeah. We're leading the charge. We are nearly sheep. Follow.
I need to get out. Too close in here.
All those papers. Oh no, it's the world building.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Did you stick in one glove now?
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
Fascinating. Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
So that's what we're after.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that will be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them.
So we don't know.
They are still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen,
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within this region.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
My apologies. Were that I could be more accurate.
That's all right. It suffices for a start. And that is why we've called you here, Master Kenway. We'd like for you to travel to America, locate the storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you will want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn.
Didn't give him much time.
Go forth, Hatham, and bring honor to us all.
What if he needs to set affairs in order before he goes? 100%ed. Cool. And there he is, Hatham. Atlantic Ocean Day 2. So the only ships so far in the Assassin's Creed games have been static or barely moving, large props that didn't really do anything. I think this is the first time I get to explore. First time I get to explore a boat. It just doesn't work sometimes. I have to go back out and back in. The Providence. The Providence was one of the many sailing ships in the British Merchant Navy. misspec there, but whatever. Which basically means it was a trade ship, rather than one meant for war. You'll notice it's carrying cannon, but those are mainly for protection against pirate or privateer vessels, or for turning the ship into a privateer vessel should the need arise. The ship was built in 1748 and made several trips a year between Britain and North American colonies, with occasional visits to the West Indies. The manifest doesn't indicate anything particularly interesting, mostly it carried staples like tea, molasses and cloth. It's captained by its part owner, one Samuel Smythe. Smythe or Smithy? Not sure. Who got something of a reputation among sailors for both cruelty to his crew and penny pinching on rations. Incidentally, that's not exactly a way to keep good sailors on board. This crew is probably both inexperienced and disgruntled. Ideally, you want an experienced crew who are hugely gruntled. Although you likely don't know much about running an 18th century sailing vessel, odds are you won't notice the difference. Okay. It does have its own little mini-map as well. Plenty of food stores. Even live animals. Cool. What's this game then? Nine Men's Morris, sometimes referred to as Cowboy Checkers. Nine Men's Morris is a board game that dates back at least to the Roman Empire. It is played on a board with 9 stones for each player. Players alternately place stones. 3 stones in a row gives a player the right to remove an opposing stone. Goal: leave the opponent with less than 3 pieces or block all his possible moves. Rules: form mills to capture enemy pieces. A mill is formed when 3 of your pieces are placed in a straight line, forming a mill that allows the player to take an enemy piece of their choice that is not already part of a mill. Placement phase: players place their pieces one after the other in any empty on the board. Does it mean a slot? Players take turns moving their pieces to a neighbouring empty slot. Flying phase: when a player is left with only 3 pieces, he can move them at any empty slots on the board. Do you mean move them to any empty slots? Who wrote this crap? Yeah, we'll play first. Okay. I got quite good at this before, I can't remember how though. Huh? Why isn't it working? Did I just break the game? What? Why can't I place a piece? I have so many pieces. My computer just tabbed out. What? I hate when that happens for no damn reason. Right, how about here then? get it. It's not letting me do it. I can't select an existing piece. I can't select one of those. One of this space. Wait a sec. Is it saying I can remove one of those now? No. Why can I place it there? It won't let me place. Let me place it. Oh, that's what it is. Place and take all in one control.
I'll give you that.
Can't do much, can I? I can't really do anything. If he moves... Yes. Oh no. Oh no, he's going to complete that. Oh no. I've lost. Yeah, I've lost. Ah, damn it. I've completely lost. Exit. Yeah. You could just go back and forth removing my pieces then. Right, what's this other game? Farinara. Fanorana. Fanorana is believed to have originated in Madagascar. It is placed on a 9-row by a 5-column board of intersecting lines. Each player places 22 black or white pieces on the board and then tries to capture the opponent's pieces by moving his own along the lines and either approaching an opposing stone or withdrawing from one. I think I remember this. Goal: capture all the opponent's pieces. Rules: capture the opponent's pieces by moving toward them or away from them. When a piece is taken, all consecutive opponent's pieces standing behind that piece will also be captured. Capturing moves are mandatory. If no capturing move is possible, the player can move one piece to a neighbouring empty slot. If a capturing move is possible after taking an opponent's pieces, the player can keep chaining moves until no further capture is possible. It is forbidden for a piece to move to the same slot 2 times in one turn. Okay. Yes. Let's go. Oh crap, I forgot about doing diagonals. Jeez.
Nice take.
Wait, I could keep going there. What? I could have gone left. He could have gone there. I think of one.
Won't take long to win at this rate.
Oh no, I'm gonna lose this piece. Unless... I want to go here to go diagonal to get these. Huh. It's beginning close. Oh no, I'm gonna lose this piece. Oh, he's gonna move into there, and then he can move away. Oh. He made the wrong move. Oh no no! I didn't mean to do that. I meant to put the cursor back on it and cancel. Oh no. Messed up. That was a misinput. I can capture. Hey. Didn't even realize.
I'll give you that.
Oh, you're getting scared. No, I don't offer. I don't accept a draw. I didn't know you could offer a draw. How come I couldn't do that before? I could only forfeit. He doesn't know what to do. I'm going to close in around him so he has no options. So I can move this one across, which will force his one to capture, and then I can capture it. But actually, no, it would be able to capture me, so that's the wrong call. So... I can move around. I need to be in a position where he can't just get me straight away. I think if I go around here, this will work. No, this isn't going to work, because he can get me now. No, I can win this. What if I move this out of the way? How are you going to react to that? Same, okay. I guess it doesn't help me, that does it? Alright, okay. So you just keep going back and forth? Well, you're not going to do that now, are you? Because now I get both your pieces. I win. I win. Yeah. I did it! Alright. Let's finally move on. I think there's something to hear here. He just
Good
floated.
morning, Doctor.
To you as well.
A question, if I may. Do you serve aboard the ship, or are you simply taking passage?
A bit of both, actually. I've been commissioned by the Royal Navy to study maritime illness. I'll be observing the crew during the journey. We have found that sailors fare far better on the open seas than the rest of us. I hope to discover why that is.
Well, I hope you are successful in your endeavors.
As do I. Thank you for the kind words.
It's bugging me how much Hatham looks like an actual actor. And I can't remember who it is.
A moment to talk?
Ah, a fellow Londoner. Good to see I'm not the only man of means aboard. Rupert Martin, pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway. Pleasure.
Seems we picked an excellent time to leave the city.
Oh?
You didn't hear about the murder at the Opera House?
No. What happened?
They're still trying to sort it all out. And I suspect they'll be at it for a good long while.
Any word on the motive?
They've ruled out robbery, so perhaps it was a business arrangement gone sour. Or something more personal, more lurid. Who knows? But I am glad to be away from it. The city grows more dangerous by the day.
Yes, indeed. Actually, no, it's probably less dangerous now that he's left. Because he won't be killing people, right? Atlantic Ocean. Really, that's a location. Atlantic Ocean. Of course, crossing the Atlantic today is as easy as a plane ride, but it was much more difficult in the colonial times. Even though I imagine the tiny food and cramped conditions are likelihood of sitting next to a fat man for many hours were pretty much the same. For European travellers it was at best a 6-week voyage, but depending on delays it could last months. Dangers included storms and their opposite, being becalmed, seasickness, food running short, and dying of boredom because you had nothing to do all day. For Africans captured into slavery, the Atlantic voyage was much worse, crossing the Middle Passage, usually to the Caribbean. The journey was just as long, but slaves were kept below decks and rarely allowed out into the fresh air, with the men usually in shackles. I thought that was a new sentence. They were given only one meal a day, less if provisions ran low. Disease was rampant and mortality rates were high. I will never complain about being inappropriately touched by airport security again. To be fair, we're now firm friends, and one was very gentle. Shut up, Sean.
And then all will be well.
You sure about that?
Of course. Have I ever led you astray?
Nah. No, you don't sit right with the others.
Have faith, my friend. You'll see.
Well, well. Seems our esteemed guest has deigned to grace us with his presence. You might want to head back to your quarters. Top deck's no place for tender parnells.
So I thought. And yet here you are.
Fancy yourself a joker, eh? Let's see how funny you find this.
That's enough, Graves.
Stay out of this.
Let's knock some sense into it. What's going on? Pressing you? I'm doing what it says. Pressing E, holding it. don't get it. I'm doing exactly what it wanted. Oh, I had to do it way earlier. Okay.
Listen to this, Hector. Thinks he can swagger on up here and declare himself king of the castle.
Please, fellas, call this off. If the captain sees us...
To hell with the captain. And to hell with you, Mills. Whose side you on, anyway?
No, it's working. So that tutorial just didn't allow it to
We're
work.
ready to go again if you are.
This is unwise.
Why's that? You think I'm afraid of you?
No, but you should be.
That was a neck snap. Come on, man. Calm down.
Never! How do you like these odds?
This ego's got to him. He doesn't want to lose. No matter what. This is a shorter to a knife, which is definitely going to get him in trouble. Maybe even top. Oh, I need to disarm him. Hey!
What's the meaning of this?
Captain!
Explain yourself at once, Mr. Kenway.
He's thought we were simply passing the time with a bit of sport, Captain.
How about you pass the time by doing your goddamn jobs instead? I wasn't aware I was paying you to loll about.
Lol.
A word, please, Mr. Kenway.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's your knife back.
I don't care for you, Mr. Kenway. I've had nothing but trouble since you came aboard.
Your problems have nothing to do with me.
I beg your pardon?
You're a poor leader, ill-tempered and cruel, and it's clear your crew has no respect for you.
Look, I don't want to argue. In fact, I need a favor.
Oh, this is rich.
I suspect some of the men intend to mutiny.
Really? What a surprise.
As I cannot trust any of them, I am compelled to turn to you.
And why should I help you?
Because if they do intend to betray, I'm the only hope you have of reaching America alive. Well, what will it be?
If what you say is true, what other choice do I have?
Thank you.
But let me be clear. Should you ever dare to insult or threaten me again, I'll not hesitate but to cut off your head myself. Are we understood?
He's good.
Excellent. Good day. Good day, old fellow.
28. Man. 3 weeks later. No. 4.
Mr. Kenway.
Captain?
Whatever they're up to, I believe it's coming to a head.
I'd best get to work.
Okay.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxury.
It's not like that. You should feast on lamb and wine.
You looking for another fight? That it?
Fish and biscuits.
Go away.
Okay. Not him. Lewis Mills. Lewis Mills is a deckhand originally from where we British somewhat optimistically call sunny Brighton. He got his love of the sea from his father, who was also a sailor. He first took young Lewis to sea with him at the age of 10, sailing from London to Boston on a vessel named the Windward. As he grew older, Mills kept working as a merchant marine, travelling the world and gaining a reputation as a reliable and level-headed sailor. He joined the crew of the Providence in 1752, staying with the captain and crew through a variety of hardships, though by 1755 he was thinking of moving on. Not surprising. I think there's a buff deck. Right here.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Oh no, it is on that deck. It's you, isn't it? Oh, why didn't it show before?
Quite the basting you gave Graves and Quill.
Wasn't by choice.
That was weeks ago.
Aye. Blockheads, the both of them. Where are my manners? Louis Mills. Pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway. So, should I be watching my back?
I think the boys learned their lesson. They're normally not so nasty. Honest, it's just the past few crossings have been a bit rough.
Oh?
Captain's trying to cut costs. Reduced rations, lower wages, more dangerous cargo. It's put the crew on edge.
Is there cause for concern, then?
Not if I can help it. But the captain needs to think about the way he treats his men.
Is that it?
You there! I have some questions for you.
That's nice, but I ain't got time to gossip. Probably wouldn't have anything useful to share anyway. You want information? Try the cook or the doctor. Everyone's always chatting them up.
That's useful, thank you. Hey Doc. What's up, Doc? There, how's it go? What's up, Doc?
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Have you taken him?
Oh, nothing like that. I was wondering if you'd heard any rumblings of trouble aboard.
What sort of trouble?
Unusual complaints or grievances? Men taking issue with the captain
You
or the
sound
passengers?
just like James. Like I told him, I've been much too busy with my research to notice anything not work-related.
And where might I find James?
The galley's your best bet. Now, if you'll excuse me...
The galley.
Are you James?
Aye.
Hatham Kenway. Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are.
I was hoping you could answer some questions.
I figured as much, but not here. Follow me.
Don't be a trap.
Oh, what do you want to know?
Have you seen or heard anything out of the ordinary since we left port? Anything that gives cause for concern?
Some of the men have been gathering at night on the upper deck. I've only caught bits of their conversations, so I couldn't say for certain what they're up to. But I suspect it bodes ill.
Is it a mutiny they're planning?
All I know is they've little love for the captain. Mills has been trying to talk him down, but there's only so much one man can do.
Thank you for the information.
I only wish to see us reach the colonies alive.
Poor guy. He's trying to avoid the drum. But he heard the drum.
Evening, sir.
Evening.
How are things?
calm and quiet. Just the way I like it. What brings you topside?
Thought I'd wander a bit. Stretch my legs. That's all.
Take care where you tread. The deck hides all manner of danger in the dark.
What was that? Someone's throwing cargo overboard. But why?
Breadcrumbs, it's a trail. This could be a Templar plot. Is there a speaky thing here? I know it is here. Oh, it's the captain, isn't it? Are these guys? No. Captain? Hey, Captain.
You must expose whatever they're plotting.
Your crew's a tight-lipped bunch. But I'll see what I can do.
Well, hurry up.
Aye, Captain. After we threatened him, he starts being angry and rude with us. Weird.
He's a shifty fella. Won't hardly take his hat off.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
Who did
It's
this?
not like that
Why?
you should feast on lamb and wine. I swear, duck with tinned fish and biscuits.
Curious.
They're bringing in
Most curious.
an attack with breadcrumbs for them to follow. Authentication day 33, so 5 days later.
Any news?
Each night it's the same. I scout one area, and they drop the painted barrels from another. I'm going to need to recruit an extra pair of eyes. Maybe James or Mills.
Why are they doing this?
Near as I can tell, the barrels serve as markers. They're leaving a trail.
Yep.
My fear is it's only a matter of time before whoever's following it...
Ship sighted aft! She's making ready to fire!
Beat to quarters, men! Ready the... Brace! Everybody down! A warning shot! Seems they don't mean to sink us, but board us instead! Man the cannons! Make ready to fight! I want you below decks.
Why? Let me help you secure the ship.
Do you know how to rig a sail? To load a cannon? To wage war at sea? I didn't think so. Now return to your cabin. Or do I need to have you escorted?
He wants to be the action man, but right now this is
Secure the hatch!
Haytham.
Have you been topside? A ship's appeared and means to board us. It's strange. There's no sign of mutiny aboard. Doesn't make sense.
Ah, but it does.
What do you mean?
Did you think you could escape from London so easily after what you did at the opera? That we wouldn't notice? That we wouldn't follow?
Ah. So that's what this is about.
Surrender, and I will see that you are treated with honor.
If you wish to treat me with honor, give me a sword.
Are you sure this is how you want to play it?
Supplies, you're obliged. Oh, he keeps countering. right, beating while it's down, that's honourable. Now loot.
I told you to stay below decks.
I did as you asked. Only Mills was there waiting for me. He's the one that drew that ship here. There was no mutiny, only him.
What do they want?
Me.
Then they can have you.
Is that so?
They'll catch us anyway. There's nothing to be done.
I can think of something.
You wish us to sail into the storm?
Yeah.
It's our only chance.
I won't do it.
Then I will.
All right. All right.
Such a pusher. Atlantic Ocean later that day.
We need those ropes secured! I told you this was madness.
Arm yourself. I'll fix your sail for you.
Hey, Pentagram, welcome to the stream. Yes. Every Assassin's Creed game, that is correct. We've played through 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, now we're on to 3, and only starting it, then will be, I think it's Liberations, or whatever the spin-off DLC one is. Oh, so now we know how to secure rigging. Maybe he asked about how to do it. No, because this is the same day, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. You couldn't do it before, but now you can. You want to do that, but you can't play against two if the brain doesn't work. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'll do the playing, and you'll just sit back and relax. Especially seeing as I'm 100%ing each one. It can be quite the chore. But you can do other things at the same time. I'll get all of the hundreds of collectibles, so you don't have to.
We need more speed! Loose the sails! Take them! You take the foremast! James! To the mainmast with you!
The ropes don't look like ropes, they look like hard cylinders because they can't do curves very well. But then not only that, when he puts it back on, it's just phasing it through. There's nothing about that that seems realistic. It's a bit of a shame, really. Things like rope physics do exist out there. They just never implement them in games, and it's just a damn shame because it always looks pretty practical. 100%ing each one? As much as I can do now that Ubisoft has taken down the servers, yes. So I 100%ed number 1 and Brotherhood and Revelations, but I couldn't 100% 2. I could only 97% because they've taken the servers down. Where is it? Well, it's something to do, something to stream, right? And thank you for the follow. Sound effects will happen in between 10 and 50 seconds. This is important. What happened to James? Oh no. James!
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, bud. You helped me out earlier, I'm helping you now. Even though I would have done it anyway. But consider my debt repaid. How well can you guys hear me over all that storm, by the way? It's very loud for me. There it is. How long was that? 40 seconds later? Atlantic Ocean Day 72. I think I'm gonna have to switch to a different stream graphics thing. I've been using Streamlabs. I might do Stream Elements. See if that doesn't have this huge lag. $72 in game, 27 IRL. Not sure what you mean. Meet the captain at the bow. I almost said bow. Aye, Captain.
Make ready for our arrival, men!
Arrival? I see no land, only this interminable fog.
The gulls tell us all we need to know. Climb into the crow's nest and you'll see.
Trust me, Hatham, I've been doing this a long time. We're gonna hit land soon. Is this going to give us a beautiful shot as we arrive? Who's the character? This is Hatham Kenway. He is an assassin sent from London to America. And if you're wondering why we're playing this guy, you'll see later on. I don't want to spoil things for people who haven't played this before. So far I managed to get a little key from some guy that might have been a Templar, and it's that key we need in the present. There it is. America. Assassin's Creed 3. Sequence 1. Journey to the New World. Complete. New email. Okay, so we're going to leave the Animus to read emails like we did in number 2. And number 1. Not Brotherhood of Revelations. I love the music for this game. Sequence 2, Boston, 1754.
Master Kenway! Master Kenway!
Yes, may I help you?
Charles Lee, sir. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Sure.
I've been asked to introduce you to the city, help you settle it. Oh, no need, sir. I've arranged for your bags to be delivered to the inn.
Are you by any chance John and Isabella's son?
Don't dirty your hands with the luggage, that's what I'm meant for. Charles Lee, 1731. Charles Lee was a British soldier who went on to be a major figure in the Revolutionary War. Lee's father was a colonel in the British Army and started his son off in a military career early. He was sent to a military academy in Switzerland during his formative years, and then in 1746 Lee became an ensign to his father's regiment. Lee was sent to the colonies in 1755 to fight in the French and Indian War. He served under Edward Braddock, and then later at Fort Ticonderoga, where he was injured in the fighting. Lee recovered and later fought at Fort Niagara. I'd always thought there were a lot of forts fought. Damn it, Sean. I'd always thought there were a lot of fort fights fought. He finished his time in the colonies with the British conquest of Montreal. Lee returned to England in 1760. Possibly because he was seeking career advancement. He was named a major in 1761 and was sent to fight the Spanish in Portugal. Though his service record there was good, Lee didn't receive praise on his return home. In fact, he was retired from the army at half pay. After that, Lee became a vocal critic of military higher-ups and the British Prime Minister, and found that his military career had inexplicably completely stalled. Yep, criticise those in charge, they're not going to help you out. In fact, they might hinder you.
The same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
Aye. But he's yet to reach America, and I figured I might... Well, at least until he arrives, I thought.
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you. If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Kind of you to say. but I think you overestimate me.
In Revelations,
Impossible,
I could
This
click
way.
onto the character and walk with them, but I'm not doing it with this guy. Don't tell me they removed that feature. It's broken us. British regulars. British regulars were the foot soldiers of the British Army. You'll also hear them referred to derisively as redcoats because of the redcoats they wear as part of their uniforms. I'll bet you didn't see that coming. Shut up, Sean. Or lobsterbacks because of their huge deadly pincers, or still because of the redcoat thing. Can't remember which. Shut up, Sean. Too many jokes. Too many bad jokes. Regulars in the colonies were notoriously underpaid, and many looked for work outside their army duties to make ends meet. Of course, their room and board was paid for by the government, meaning they could charge lower than average rates for their work. Since unemployment was high in Boston before the Revolution, you can imagine this made the redcoats rather unpopular among people who were working for them. That and their huge deadly pincers. Shut up, Sean. Too many terrible jokes.
Boston's quite a lively city.
There's all manner of things to see and do. Once you've settled in, I suggest you take some time to walk the streets.
Stop zigzagging.
Who knows what opportunities you might discover.
Hold a moment. Need to fetch a few things before we get to work.
I'll arrange for horses while you do that.
That's telling me to view the map, okay. Find a general store. There are no general stores. I hate how buggy this game is already. It just doesn't load information unless I go out and back in, but it's not every time. Markets. There are a number of public markets in the colonies, meaning you can get supplies easily. Of course, paying for goods is another matter. Its currency was incredibly complex. People paid in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese coins, wampum, New Jersey, and New York bills, magic beans, laundromat coins, the list goes on. We simplified everything down for you, anonymous. You're welcome. While some markets hold a variety of goods like Fenwill Hall in Boston, others were more specialised. New York's Quincy's Slip was mainly a fish market, though like most markets it sold a list of everything. While if you're in the market for African slaves, Peck's ship was the place to go. You speak Portuguese? Very nice. I don't think it's going to come up, but if it does, you can translate. Yes, slavery was legal at the time, though it was less common in Boston than New York, which had the largest slave population in the north. Don't be surprised to see European slaves for sale either. Some were sold for a fixed number of years to pay back their passage to the New World, a much better deal than the slaves were offered. Huh. Are you serious? Why is this a freaking... Oh, a bunch of grapes is a place, not a piece of food. I was going to say, if they're going to do entries on every piece of food, this is going to be too much. But it's okay, it's just the name of a place. Oh, by the way, since following Pedquay, we've hit 980 followers. I should mention, when we hit 1,000 followers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I don't know how long that's going to take. So, it may be soon, it may be ages away, we'll see. As for what I'm giving away, that's to be determined. Anyway, a bunch of grapes. This was one of the meeting places of the Sons of Liberty. The attraction of this particular tavern may have been the library, which included many anti-British books, or it might have been its reputation as the finest punch house in Boston, or it might have even been its location, which is right down the street from the old State House, where the legislature met and where Boston Massacre occurred, or it might have been Darts Night. You might notice I'm reading some of these fast is because there's a hell of a lot of reading to do. And if I don't read fast for some of it, we're going to end up at episode 50 at this rate before I even get close to finishing the game. While I'd love to use the fact that patriots met in taverns to imply all kinds of things about them, I should point out that taverns are places to do business as well as drink, and that alcohol was viewed as more or less the cure for all ills. You're waiting for a punchline, but that's actually true. Those are the kinds of doctor's orders I crave. Shut up, Sean.
Not here with that, you rogue!
Several thieves around, it seems like. Benjamin Franklin! Oh my gosh. 1706. Benjamin Franklin was a renowned inventor, diplomat, and one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Translation: he was a rock star of the age. Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston in 1706, the 10th son of a soap maker. 10 sons! I guess his parents couldn't afford a television, and also there was no television. He began... Oh, shut up, Sean. He began working for his brother in 1718 as an apprentice printer. However, their relationship was rocky, particularly after the older Franklin found out that young Benjamin had been writing for the paper under a pseudonym. Silence could do good. And writing an extremely popular column at that. Human nature being what it is, the fact that the column was popular was probably the big problem. Benjamin ran away in 1723 and headed for Philadelphia, where he continued his career in printing and writing, eventually buying the Pennsylvania Gazette. The business, I mean, not just a copy. Okay, the whole business. That would have been one of his lesser tiers. He had stayed in Philadelphia for most of his life, that is, when he wasn't making extended trips to Europe. Franklin had a talent for persuasion, and that made him an ideal diplomat. In 1757 he went to London to represent Pennsylvania in an ongoing legal battle with the Penn family. It was the first of several extended political trips to Britain, and he would act as the state representative for Massachusetts, Georgia, and New Jersey as well. In fact, Franklin was in Europe for most of the Revolution, though he was in the colonies to help with the writing of the Declaration of Independence. Franklin was a vocal opponent of British impositions on the colonies, like the Stamp Act, and although he first fought for the rights of the colonists as British citizens, he eventually became convinced, like many of the Founding Fathers, that independence was the only real solution. Unfortunately, Franklin's change of heart made him clash with his son, William, who served as the Royal Governor of New Jersey. William remained an active loyalist. The father and son never spoke again. When he wasn't founding a new nation and destroying his family in the process, Franklin was a scientist, inventing things like bifocals and more efficient wood stoves when he wasn't mapping the Gulf Stream and discovering how electricity worked. What have you done today? Made yourself a microwave mill and sat about in your underwear? Oh, well done you. Shut up, Sean. I've actually done much more than that today, so suck it. He was also quite the lady killer. Jeez, this guy, carrying on several friendships with women while he was in Europe. The records don't say what exactly they saw in him, certainly not his looks. Maybe women like a man who's intelligent. Some do. If that was true, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Portugal surrounded by them, and you'd be looking at a blank screen. First of all, shut up, Sean. Second, that's the second mention of Portugal, which is quite the coincidence for Pedquay and chat. Huh. Really, really well. Thank you. Once I get into a role, I can read quite fast. When I completed Minecraft on stream, and they did that hugely long scroll of text, and it turned out it was a bit too fast to read at normal pace, I think I clipped that whole thing so you can hear me fast read the end of Minecraft on the stream page. Oh my gosh, there's another one. Okay, what we got now? Some Hall. Fanwill Hall. Okay, let's slow it down a bit. Don't let the French spelling confuse you. The name of this building is pronounced Faneuil or Fennel. Getting it wrong is a good way to indicate you're not from around here, but it's also a great way of proving you're not French, which is, in my experience, is a real boon. Also, if you want to pass as a local, you should take a look at the Weather Vane. It's a Boston landmark. Legend has it that in the War of 1812, suspected spies were asked what was on top of Faneuil Hall. Only a true local would be able to say it was a grasshopper. Well, there you know, if you're going to go back in time and suspected of being a spy in 1812 in Boston, you'll know that it was a grasshopper. Make sure to note that down, chat. This will be on the test. The building was named after Peter Faneuil, the local merchant who paid to build it. It was meant as a place for local farmers to sell their goods so the carts would stop crowding the streets, and also so you didn't have to walk near the farmers. However, it's the meeting hall on the second floor which gives the building its nickname, the Cradle of Liberty. That's rather ostentatious and, dare I say, American as a nickname, but it's not inaccurate. People met here to protest the Stamp Act. The first anti-tea tax meetings were also held here. Anti-British meetings occasionally drew crowds so large the building couldn't even hold them, at which point they all went to the Old South Meeting Hall. During the siege of Boston, the meeting hall here was made over into a theatre, since players of any kind were banned in Boston under ordinary circumstances, something I think should still be law. Actually, this is yet another example of the British loyalists sticking it to the rebels. Shut up, Sean. Go faster, faster. No, that actually screwed me up a bit. I couldn't read that faster, that was weird. Some of the sentences just didn't flow, they were very small. Ah, letterman. What have you got for me, Mr. Postman? Central Boston letter. Oh no, it's a side mission. No, 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 we're not doing that yet. That's too soon.
Damn sprigs. This accursed city will be the death of me.
Ah, Betty boy, there you are.
You seem troubled, friend.
That's because I am. Greatly so, in fact.
That's because I am.
What's happened?
I was robbed. The old
SpongeBob.
Balkan file. Though I've managed to restore what's mine, I fear it's ruined.
You mean the book?
This is no ordinary book. It's an almanac. The first I ever wrote. Benjamin Franklin, pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway.
You must be new to Boston.
Why do you say that?
You're still possessed of virtue. To stop and help an old lout like myself. I don't mean to impose, but you seem a spry fellow. Should you happen to find my missing pages, I'll reward you.
This is a quest.
Look, I'm not sure if I...
It's all right, all right. If you have the time, hurrah. If not, no harm done.
Long-term
The thing is
collectible.
useless in its current state anyway. But should you somehow manage to restore it, you'll find me inside that general store over there.
At least for this one we get an intro to it. We're not just
Well,
told we need to get
that was
Shaq
interesting.
Pasha's pages, you know? Fedquay, where did you hear that about Benjamin? Sounds like you know a lot about history. He must have had a good teacher. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't want to do the letters, but he's right there. Yeah, I know Fedquay, that's the joke. I am the teacher. I'm gonna do it. Deliver the letter. Oh, I already got another thing to read. Committees of Correspondence. I want to play the game. I don't want to read essays. Since the American Revolution happened in the dark days before there was an internet and even before telephones, organising colonial opposition to the British was a little tricky. I don't want to make it cry, but these clouds didn't even have dial-up. The solution was to send out riders bearing letters to inform colonists in other areas what was going on. These became known as Committees of Correspondence. Correspondence being a fancy name for letters. If you did not know this, I am amazed you have even read this far. Actually, I am amazed you even can read this far. Samuel Adams created one of the first committees of correspondence in Boston in 1772. In particular, he wanted to keep people outside of Boston informed about town meetings, so the governor couldn't invite only his friends to meetings. That would be less a meeting and more a dinner party. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Adams' committee worked so well that everyone started doing it. Eventually, all the colonies had their own committees, focused on presenting a united front against British imposed taxes and supporting boycotts on British goods. Really, Adams should have patented the idea. He could have made a fortune. So this guy made the post office. Or at least general news. Where do you want me to take it? All the way over there? How far is that? Oh, there's... not that far. I don't have the map unlocked yet, though. Alright, everybody, let's get you informed. There you go. At least I don't have to read things every time I deliver one. What's this little semicircle on the map? Is it these guys? I think it's these guys. Is that just a hiding spot? Is that what it's saying? Weird. Might be a feature I just haven't unlocked yet.
Following a recent spate of accidents,
Oh, I feel weird speaking at normal speed now. It's like I have a compulsion to suddenly speak at double the speed when I don't need to. We'll go far to that one. back. Stop teaching you things you don't want to learn. Ah, no. Absorbing things about the world. Ooh, hiss. Game looks amazing. It's okay. You got a bit of potato face going on, but it's okay. I'll say the story again because people haven't heard. When this game originally came out, I bought it not knowing it could only work on Windows 7, I think it was, and my PC wasn't Windows 7. So my girlfriend at the time had a laptop which did have Windows 7. I managed to install the game on there and play it. I got as far as the tutorial level before it started going at 1 frame every few seconds. So I had to wait ages before I could actually play the game on an upgraded PC. So yeah, the game may look nice, but at the time it was a nuisance to try and get it to play. Old Meeting House. The bells in this church rang out in the hours leading up to the Boston Massacre as crowds were gathering to taunt the soldiers in front of the State House. In Boston at the time, church bells were rung when there was a fire, so people ran into the streets to see what was happening. That swelled the crowd, making tensions between the people and the British soldiers that much worse. It ended, of course, with the soldiers firing into the crowd, killing 5 people. And this concludes our lesson on how church bells could be used to incite riots in colonial America. Just like in Minecraft, when you ring the bell and make everybody move. Are you LeMayoing at the massacre or the inability to play the game when I bought it? It is pretty, isn't it? Pretty. Quite quaint. Particularly pleasing. Do let me know if there are any frame drops for streaming it. I want to be able to stream in 4K, but Twitch doesn't guarantee it works. I tried streaming in 4K a few weeks back, and it just came through as 720p, which is even worse than this 1080p I'm doing.
Thank you.
Ah, £500 for succeeding. Is this whole game in pounds? Sweet. I can understand the currency. Amazing. Wait, £500 for delivering letters? Back in those days? That's a fortune. What the hell?
Ah, hello. Welcome.
So. I'm supposed to visit here. I don't know if I'm supposed to buy anything, really. Hancock store number 5. I guess we couldn't really travel with weapons, although other people had weapons. So, whatever. Let's get this. Keep hiccuping. Normal sword. This blade is useful to settle matters quickly and affectionately. Affectionately? That's not right at all. That's the opposite. Quickly and effectively when close combat occurs. Its noiseless approach makes it reliable under any weather conditions, especially when black powder is dripping wet and unusable. That's a good point. The guard is wide and protects the wielder's hands. I mean the guard on the sword or the guard, like, enemy? The guard is wide and protects the wielder's hand. Sometimes it may also be used to punch the opponent. Let's get it. Yeah, something like that per quite is a huge amount. Even just 500 for doing a little task is ridiculous nowadays. But Someone didn't think it through. They should have given like £5, and even that would have been a lot. 2 minutes work. Flintlock pistol. This flintlock pistol has a better accuracy at short range and is thus less powerful than the musket. However, it's more comfortable in a fight than on a battlefield, and easier to wield, offering more versatility. Because of the time it takes to reload after every single shot, many people will carry 2 or more pistols at the same time. Try crafting a pistol sheath with 2 holsters to add and carry a second pistol. Yeah. This happens a lot in games where having a gun to reload is slower than just switching to another gun. So sometimes people will have multiple of the same gun. I think that happens a lot in battle royales, doesn't it? Open weapon wheel, use WAS to select sword in the large weapons category, press it. We got WASD and arrow keys. We can do them at the same time. Not quite the same time. When did he enter the Assassins? Whatever year it is now, a few years prior to that. I don't know. It's the 1700s, isn't it? I can't remember. It's a good question though, if you want to have things in order. Not DNA, documents. Database. Pepple. Where's Hathan Kenway? Well, Reginald Birch is our boss. Born in 1705. And he was at least in his 20s when he started work. He was tutoring Hatham, our guy, in the 1730s. So this is going to be like the 1740s, 1750s.
We ride for the Green Dragon Tavern. The proprietors are eccentric, but the rooms are spacious and they do not pry.
Have you been told why it is I've come to Boston?
No, Master Birch said I should know only as much as you saw fit to share. He sent me a list of names and bade me ensure you could find them.
And have you had any luck with that?
Aye. William Johnson waits for us at the Green Dragon.
How well do you know him?
Not well, but he saw the order's mark and did not hesitate to come.
Prove yourself loyal to our cause, and you may yet know our plans as well.
I should like nothing more, sir.
This General Lee wants to join the Assassins, but he didn't know everything. Yeah, SEO was very important during his age, and also for helping Desmond connect the dots across time. Especially when he did his investigation into Altair. Green Dragon Tavern. Notice this time it actually loaded the info and I didn't have to go up and down level on the menu. I don't know why that bug exists and how it happens sometimes instead of all times. Green Dragon Tavern. This tavern is sometimes called the headquarters of the revolution, though I imagine when it is they pronounce it headquarters of the revolution, because overthrowing the government in a pub is thirsty work. It was a popular place for the people like Paul Revere and Samuel Adams to visit, to sit with their friends and plot. Up until 1754, the tavern was owned by William Douglas. When he died, his property was left to his daughter Catherine Kerr and his nephew Cornelius Douglas. They divided their inheritance equally, and it seems got along famously. The Freemasons bought the tavern in 1766 and renamed it the Freemasons' Arms, which didn't actually stick because the sign above the door was still the Green Dragon. Freemasons, the secret society everyone knows about. Let's grab a pub. Let's get a pub where we can meet in complete secret and no one will ever know. Brilliant. What should we call it? How about the Freemasons' Arms? Yes, Sean, the irony is not lost on everybody. Legend has it that Paul Revere's ride was planned here, but that's unlikely. By 1774, Revere had been warned that the British were listening in on his meetings, and had therefore stopped making super-secret plans in public where anyone could hear them. Someone tell the Masons you know where to find them. Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay, no worries, Fedquay. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. We've got new stuff in the shop already. How do I leave the horse? E. There we go. I need to get a new drink. Mine's nearly empty.
You lying, cheating, no good son of a bitch.
Perhaps we've come at a bad time.
Oh, don't be foolish, dearies. Please, sit. Fancy something to eat? A drink, perhaps? Or is it a bed you require?
We've already let rooms here.
Oh, yes. Of course. Masters Lee and Kenway, was it? I'll have your bags brought up. Do you require anything further?
Only privacy.
Very well. I shan't bother you.
This way.
Governor. Okay, give me 2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a fresh drink and do another thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, here is your ASMR for the day. Opening a fresh cold energy drink. And a fresh cold bottle. Pardon me. And opening a fresh pack of biscuity things. What is this go? I wanted to look around, but there's nothing there. Okay.
Sir, William Johnson.
You gonna make me read? Because if so, I shan't read.
A pleasure.
I'm gonna read.
A good lad, if a bit earnest. I'm told you're putting together an expedition.
We believe there's a precursor site in the region. I require your knowledge of the land and its people to find it.
Sadly, my research has been stolen. Without it,
Oh
I'm
my
of no
gosh,
use
I
to you.
didn't switch back.
Then
I'm
we'll
so
find
sorry.
it. Do you have any leads?
My associate, Thomas Hickey, has been making the rounds. He's quite...
No, I'm not letting you miss out things like that. I'm so sorry. Alt F4 to make it happen again. Although I guess I could have replayed the DNA memory. Oh well. What's done is done. My bad. What was that? I just skipped it. What was that?
This way.
Hmm? This was empty before. Weird. Ah, there is something.
Sir,
weird.
William Johnson.
A pleasure.
I'm gonna snack now
A good
while I
lad.
can.
He's a bit earnest. I'm told you're putting together an expedition.
We believe there's a precursor site in the region. I require your knowledge of the land and its people to find it.
Sadly, my research has been stolen. Without it, I'm of no use to you.
Then we'll find it. Do you have any leads?
My associate, Thomas Hickey, has been making the rounds. He's quite good at loosening tongues.
Well, tell me where I can find him. I'll see if I can't speed things up.
We've heard rumors of bandits operating from a compound southwest of here. You'll likely find him there.
Charles?
Sir,
We'd best be off.
of course.
Let me just clear my mouth. William Johnson, 1715. William Johnson was a land speculator and Britain's principal treaty negotiator with the indigenous peoples of the northern part of the colonies, particularly the Iroquois. Johnson was born in Ireland but moved to the colonies in 1738 to look after his uncle's property in the Mohawk River. However, it wasn't long before Johnson branched out into business for himself, acquiring property on the opposite side of the river and setting up a sawmill and trading post which he named Mount Johnson. Which to me always sounds like a mating instruction from a caveman. Sure thing, Sean. In 1743 he moved to an even larger parcel of land which he named Fort Johnson. He may have been an excellent businessman, but it's possible he lacked an imagination. Johnson befriended the indigenous peoples in the area, particularly the Kanien'kehá:ka, if that's how you say it, whose language he learned. He learned the language, wow. His respect for their customs helped him rise to prominence as a liaison between the Iroquois people and the British government. Of course, it would be best to learn the language if he's the go-to between, isn't he? Johnson was named Superintendent of Indian Affairs in 1756. As a contact who knows the land and its people, he's probably the best you'll find. And Thomas Hickey. Who? Both unknown. Thomas Hickey was an Irish-born member of the British Army. He arrived in Boston in 1752, but it wasn't long before he was assigned to William Johnson's personal guard, apparently at Johnson's request, possibly because their families were connected in Ireland, or maybe he found the name Hickey funny. The record isn't clear. Shut up, Sean. Hickey served under Johnson during the French and Indian War, but then he left the army after being written up several times for disorderly conduct. In 1760, Hickey disappears from the historical record for several years. I do, however, have several mentions in William Johnson's household accounts of payments made to T.H. It's possible Hickey was working for him as a spy. If so, he should really have developed some tougher coast to crack. Sure. That's valid. I'm not going to play these mini games again for now. Let's go. So this is looking more Assassin's Creed-y. Stone walls, fields. Where are we? Oh, okay. Just jump across to there. That's not normal. Assassin's Creed without having to travel around for bloody ages. How strange. What's that? Sequence 2, Johnson's errand.
Thomas Hickey?
Who's asking?
Haytham Kenway.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Show some respect, boy.
Peace, Charles. William Johnson sent us in the hopes we might expedite your search.
I don't need no expediting. Don't need none of your fancy London speak neither. I found the men that done the theft.
Then why are you just lazing around?
Figuring out how to deal with those varlets.
I have an idea.
Well, let's hear it.
I'll kill the lookout, take up a position behind the guards. You two approach from the front. When I open fire on the group, you charge in. We'll have the element of surprise on our side. Half will fall before they've even realized what's happened.
Nice. I like this Haytham Kenway. I'm sure glad that we have an entire game dedicated to him.
Get into position. But wait for me to take the first shot.
Nobody even heard that? Gotta kill 10.
Go on now, before you make us mad.
Ooh, these players.
Go on now, before you make us mad.
You
What?
two, clear up. You two. So much for the element of surprise.
No! Get the gun! This isn't working. The optional objective wants me to shoot 10 people. It's nice that the full sync is allowed to work from a checkpoint, unlike the last game.
You two, clear up. So much for the element of surprise. Reinforcement.
Okay, so I was right to do what I did. Or was I? Should I just not have walked up to them and gone round?
Clear up.
Or was it just go down instead?
So much for the element of surprise.
Reinforcements!
Oi! Ape them! Shoot before they reach us!
Shoot! Just shoot! This isn't working. This isn't working at all.
You two, clear up. You two, clear up. So much for the element of
Shoot him! What the hell? What's going on? I was aiming, obviously, because the camera scoped in. It refused to shoot.
you two, clear up.
Why isn't it aiming?
Go on now.
Why isn't it loaded? The checkpoint isn't loading the weapon.
Go on.
I have to reload each weapon, despite the checkpoint. That's so silly. No, no, no. That's what I wanted to do. How many have we done? 5. Wait, it's still showing some? What? Why are there some on the map here? What's going on? Is it bugged? It's gotta be bugged, right?
Fall back! Fall back! We'll be safe inside! What now? We can blow the door with those. Go on, shoot them.
Am I still doing the 10?
Yeah. On with the show then.
Hello?
Guess they wasn't so safe inside after all.
Oh, they all died. Stop, I went the wrong way.
Save your looting for after we found Johnson's research.
Yes, Master. Lay down your weapons, and I'll consider letting you live.
I make you the same offer. We've no quarrel. I only wish to return this chest to its rightful owner.
Nothing rightful about Mr. Johnson.
I won't ask again.
Agreed.
Nice. Hurry up. Two more kills, come on.
Your kind has no need for books and maps. Who put you up to this?
Never seen a person. It's always been dead drops and letters. But they always pay, so we do the jobs.
Well, those days are done. Tell your masters I said as much.
Who should I say you are?
You don't? They'll know.
Did I fail the full scene?
Atham! This one's got some shot on him. You might want to be grabbing it on account of your pistol being parched.
A shame so many had to die.
Aye. Terrible tragedy. Back to the Green Dragon then. I need a drink.
There's more fighting to be done.
Don't let go of the chest, Charles. We'll take care of this rabble.
Stop them, Thomas!
A little help, please. Quit your crying, I'm coming.
Hey, there
Would be a shame to let it all go to waste.
Are you mad? In case you've forgotten, we're in the midst of something.
Aw, why's you always gotta go and spoil the sport?
Which way again? This way? Same one.
Come on now. It's just a few fools with knives. They ain't so tough.
It's not the scoundrels I'm concerned with.
Cheers then.
A little help, please.
Oi! Mr. Johnson's gonna need to double my pay after all this if he expects me to keep at his side.
Why am I stuck? Sounds weird.
There you are.
My thanks, Master Kenway. Now, tell me what it is you need.
The images on this amulet, are they familiar to you? Perhaps one of the tribes has shown you something similar.
It appears Kanyan Gahaga in origin.
Can you trace it to a specific location? I need to know where it came from.
With my research returned, perhaps. Let me see what I can do. Thomas!
What?
Rent yourself a room. And a bath as well. I suspect we'll be here for a while.
What's that? Let's go explore a bit. It's going to be a hell of a lot of world building. So let's start building that world. I'm going the wrong way. It was... Oh no, that's right. Northeast, yeah. I'll go through here. Oh yeah, I forgot about these little shortcuts. That's pretty sweet. Wild animals roaming the streets. Pigs. Surprising. Wait, there's a conversation in here. Oh, hello. Benny boy!
Hello again.
More almanac pages?
Not quite. It's a treatise, actually.
Oh? Concerning what?
The benefits of taking an older woman as a lover.
Really? This I'd like to hear.
First and most obvious, they're wiser. And so this makes for far more stimulating conversation. Makes other things more stimulating as well, but more on that in a moment.
All right. Your argument for experience makes some sense.
Second, when beauty fades, women must improve their utility, lest they be discarded and forgotten. Rare is an old woman who is not also kind, compassionate, and good.
That's something of a generalization.
But also true. Now, on to the third. Older women cannot conceive, which means one less thing over which to fret. In fact, you also decrease the chance of acquiring something like the French pox, its presence clearly visible, or the woman dead.
And should one desire a child?
Then make a young woman your wife. Let the older one be a mistress. And that brings me to my fourth point. With age comes prudence. An older woman is less likely to reveal your indiscretions.
Yes.
Damn.
I suppose you know quite a bit about that.
And proud of it, thank you. As to the fifth reason, because in every animal that walks upright, the deficiency of the fluids that fill the muscles appears first in the highest part. The face first grows lank and wrinkled, then the neck, then the breast and arms. The lower parts continuing to the last as plump as ever, so that covering all above with a basket, and regarding only what is below the girdle, it is impossible of two women to know an old from a young one. And as in the dark all hands away, the pleasure of corporal enjoyment with an old woman is at least equal and frequently superior, every knack being by practice capable of improvement.
You mad bastard.
Well, it's true, and believe me, I should know. I've sampled a great many. You should try one as well. Like a fine wine, they only improve with age. Although I suppose if left unattended too long, some have a tendency to sour. And that, my friend, is a most unpleasant experience. Better to work in a field often plowed, you know?
Jeez.
Is there more?
Indeed, indeed.
Oh, no.
The sixth is this. The sin is less. To take a maidenhead is a great responsibility. Mishandled, it can ruin lives. No such risk with an older woman. And this implies the seventh. Younger women are more given to compunction. Anxiety and unease are not present in the more aged and experienced. And as to the last of my reasons, well, it's really quite simple. Older women are so very grateful for the attention.
You make a compelling argument, Mr. Franklin.
He does. Good job.
I might just have to run a few tests myself.
I highly recommend it.
He's very convincing, and that was something noted in his character profile.
I owe you a great thanks, by the way.
For what? I haven't done anything.
What for?
Speaking with me.
Oh.
You see, I have very few friends in Boston these days.
And what did you do to earn their ire?
Started with a cartoon I drew, suggesting unification. How else can we hope to withstand the French menace? I proposed something similar at the Albany conference as well, and it ruffled quite a few feathers. See, I've begun to wonder if Parliament best serves our interests. The colonies might be better off independent and autonomous. Most of my peers, however, haven't taken kindly to the suggestion.
Are things truly so bad under the Crown?
But you've answered your own question. Under. Why under? It should be side by side. Does France reside beneath Britain? Do the Italians, the Prussians, the Spanish? No. Sure, they may disagree from time to time, even come to blows, but they stand on equal ground. And we should as well.
Are the colonies not simply an extension of the kingdom, though? Another borough, if you will?
No, we are not. We've evolved into something else, something distinct.
I suppose it's only natural to desire parity. We leave behind our parents, our childhoods, our homes, and seek to find a place in the world. If it's true for a person, why not a nation?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. Please, don't let me keep you from your work.
Nah, we'll keep talking anyway.
Let us speak later, my friend.
Oh.
To business.
So new weapons unlocked. Why are these unlocked? Oh, it's for much later. Maybe the DLC stuff. Okay, back to it. Sorry. Whoa, frame drops. First frame drops in a while. What was that? An almanac page here. Oh, did it blow past? There it is. I forgot we had to chase these down. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. They're only there for a few seconds and they're gone. Oh, the whistle distraction. I forgot about that. Yeah. So, in Hitman, you can throw a coin. In this, you can whistle. And walk very slowly. Right. Let's talk. Where's the talking? Wait, is that downstairs instead? Might be. Might. No, there's no there. Why does it show I can speak to both of them, but I really can't? Next on the list.
Evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Charming.
Oh, peace, Charles. He'll grow on you.
Oi! Catherine, you fussock! Get back here! Taddy needs a drink.
How fares the search?
Maths and maps are not cutting it.
Please don't throw a cut.
What have your local contacts?
We'll need to earn their trust before they'll share what they know.
I have an idea on how we might be affecting that. There's a man who's taken to enslaving natives. Rescue them, and they'll owe us.
Do you know where they're being held?
Afraid not.
Benjamin Churchwill. He's a finder and a fixer. He's also on your list.
And there I was, wondering whom I might solicit next. Well done.
Cool.
Any news?
Whispers of things. Nothing solid at the moment. I know you're looking for word of anything out of the ordinary. Dealing with temples and spirits and ancient times and whatnot. But, so far, can't say my boys have heard much.
No trinkets or artifacts being moved through your... shadow market?
Nothing new. Couple of ill-gotten weapons, some jewelry likely lifted from a living thing. But you said to listen for talk of glows and ums and strange sights, right? And I ain't heard nothing about that.
Alright, fair enough.
Keep at it.
Oh, I will. You done me a great service, mister. And I fully intend to repay my debt. Thricefold, if it pleases.
Thank you, Thomas.
Place to sleep and meal to eat is thanks enough. Don't you worry. I'll get you sorted soon.
I guess he is grateful already.
This business with Silas confuses me. If Britain stands any chance of pushing back the French, they must ally with the natives, not enslave them.
Silas is loyal only to his purse. That his actions harm the crown is irrelevant. So long as there are buyers for his product, he'll continue to procure it.
All the more reason to stop him, then.
My days are spent in Congress with the locals, attempting to convince them that we're the ones they should trust. That the French are merely using them as tools, to be abandoned once they've won.
Your words must lose their strength when held against the reality of Silas' actions.
I've tried to explain that he does not represent us. But he wears the red coat. He commands a fort. I must appear to them either a liar or a fool. Likely both.
Take heart, brother. When we deliver them his head, they'll know your words were true.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself, William.
What's to tell? I was born in Ireland to Catholic parents, which I learnt early in life severely limited my opportunities. So I converted to Protestantism and journeyed here at the behest of my uncle. But I fear my uncle Peter was not the swiftest of men. He sought to open trade with the Conyan Gahaga, but chose to build his settlement away from the trade routes instead of on them. I tried to reason with the man, but... as I said, not the swiftest. So, I took what little money I'd earned and bought my own little plot of land. I built a home, a farm, a store, and a mill. Humble beginnings, but well situated, which made all the difference.
So this is how you came to know the Mohawk?
Indeed. And it has proved a valuable relationship.
But still no mention from your contacts of the precursor site? No hidden temple or ancient constructs?
Yes and no. Which is to say, they had their fair share of sacred sites. Earthen mounds, forest clearings, hidden caves. But nothing matching what you describe. No strange metals, no odd glows.
It is well hidden.
Even to them, it seems. But cheer up, my friend. You'll have your precursor treasure. I swear it.
To our success, then.
And soon.
I wouldn't make promises you can't keep.
Should not be much longer.
When I know something, you'll know something.
Alright then.
Do you like it here, Charles?
There's a certain charm to Boston, I suppose. To all of the colonies, really. Granted, their cities have none of London's sophistication or splendor, but the people are earnest and hardworking. They've a pioneer spirit I find compelling.
It's quite something, really, watching a place that's finally found its feet.
Has it, though? The French still wage war from up north. And I fear the Spanish have designs upon this place as well. Is this a new world? Or just another battlefield?
That's a story old as time itself. And one that's not like to change. We're cruel and desperate creatures, set in our conquering ways. The Saxons and the Franks, the Ottomans and Safavids. I could go on for hours. The whole of human history is but a series of conflicts and subjugations. A desire for more and more and more.
I pray one day we rise above it.
Whilst you pray, I'll act. We'll see who finds success first, hmm?
It was an expression.
Aye, and a dangerous one. Words have power. Wield them wisely.
Yep. I hate it when somebody says that they're praying for something when they could just do it, or they choose to pray instead of taking action because they think that's the best course of action. It's so silly.
I've some work I should finish. Let us speak later.
Like in Outlast, when they were praying that people would be healed, but instead they could just go to civilization, pick up some basic medicine, and be sorted instead of dying. Okay, where to? Church residence. The site was built in 1707 by a prominent local merchant named Robin Califf. Benjamin Church brought it from his heirs to use as a Boston residence. Church's practice is on Newbury Street, a fairly short walk away, so the house was in an ideal location. It's also in a nice part of town. Even in colonial Boston, two-story houses with fenced-in gardens don't come cheap, but they didn't even get cable. Shut up, Sean. Actually, given the location, it seems that Church's practice was doing very well indeed. That's where he had another source of revenue. Let's go. Wherever we go. Oh, I've teleported to a place, haven't I? I don't know where we are. See? Yes. Ah, there we are.
Wonderful. Charles?
Sir?
Seems like we're not the only ones looking for Mr. Church.
Damn it, he could be anywhere. What do we do?
We find him.
So that's what it looks like.
Come. I'll show you how.
Okay. Non-lethal weapons. Orange markers indicate caution. Those targets must not be killed. These drop on their names while hidden. Where am I to hide?
Were you trod upon by some reckless lout's horse? Let the firm of Blake and Heath pursue your legal satisfaction.
Should we write his family, do you think?
Not our business to meddle, even if we've the best of intentions.
But if you could have seen it, they were surely drunk carrying on like that, and during the day, no less.
God save the king! Hear ye!
Yes, it feels a little suspicious.
Charter of King George II,
20 civilians took damage. Okay,
adjoining
there we go
the
then.
church in the city of New York are set aside for the establishment of King's College.
Scandalous behavior from one who aims to be a surgeon. Not likely if he keeps up such carousing.
Truly a shameful display. Benjamin's parents would be mortified.
Perhaps I should send someone to retrieve him before he damages his reputation beyond repair.
They stumbled off to the northeast, no doubt in search of a tavern or some other place of ill repute.
Start questioning those on the street. I'm headed for higher ground.
So we have to blend it, but he could just stand right there.
King's College. God
Find the church and synchronize. Hooray! We finally get to do a sync. Get the map. I don't even see it, so I'm blind. Definite frame rate issues. Could be from loading the area there. Analyst database, New South Meeting House. That was referenced in the other meeting thing, wasn't it? Another wooden church, this time with the bell in the steeple. Samuel Adams' father, also named Samuel Adams, was one of the founding members, and surprised it wasn't torn down for firewood during the siege, but I guess its members just hadn't angered the British enough for that. It's conveniently named so that you won't mistake it for the Old South Meeting House, where all the important events happen. Simple is best. I'm describing the naming system, I'm not describing you. Thanks, Sean. Is that a sniper? How come I can't see through trees? I thought eagle vision would work through trees. Through branches. It's very good climbing. Very smooth. Synchronize at last.
Time to take a listen. With luck, one of those people knows what became of Benjamin.
I've asked the priors, but they all plead ignorance. Bugger that! They're lying! Aye. Well, what can I do? Threats light off them and I'll not deign to grovel. Actions speak louder than words, my friend. Arrest one and put him in stocks. See if he's so glib then. To do so without cause will set them singing songs about us. Last thing the city needs is town criers complaining about our abuse of authority. And forget it! The crime is done. The killer's gone. Those who know won't share their secrets. If the city wishes to harbor scoundrels, let them pay the price for it.
No, I guess that's a fair perspective on it. Interact on a moving group and 100 for success on the extraction forward. Let's find a moving group. Not moving.
And so he says to church that one way or another the debt would be settled. Don't envy the man. He's green times ahead.
Well, what do you think they're planning?
All I know is it can't be good.
Probably looking for a nice, quiet place to do the deed. From what I hear tell, his work usually involves quite a bit of screaming.
Which reminds me, we'd best not buy any meat tomorrow.
Good call, that.
Hey, I did the moving up, loads a bit of shadows. I didn't quite hear what it said either.
I asked if I could help, and they waved me away. Insisted it was all under control. How odd. Did they say what had happened? No. Only that it was a trifling matter, and he'd be returned home soon. There was some blood, though, so I wonder if it wasn't more serious than they let on. Where were they taking him? Towards the hilltop. Perhaps there's a doctor at the fort.
Warning, stay close to allies. Yeah. the guy just arrived afterwards. Let me get this viewpoint. No, don't complain. Oh, sink, quick. It's facing the wrong way. Okay, go.
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you are raised in the manner that I was.
Why is that changed?
Perception is fundamental.
Oh, okay, so viewpoints open up. Radar detected. There's a page around there, though.
The order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting. But most important, it transforms the senses, and we begin to know the world in a different way.
I can't go through with him. There's grass poking through. So maybe
Careful.
the guy we're looking for is
This place is well guarded. We need to slip past them.
Fort Hill and South Battery. Fort Hill is the second highest hill in Boston, if only it had tried harder when it was a little hillock. Shut up, Sean. And overlooks Boston Harbour. Defences were built here in the mid-17th century, along with a smaller one-gun fortification near the harbour, named the South Battery. The South Battery was expanded in the 1740s, but had fallen out of use by the 1760s. Both it and Fort Hill were rebuilt by the Patriots during the Revolutionary War, but both were dismantled before the turn of the century. Fort Hill, the hill itself, not the fortification, was levelled in the late 1860s to make room for more land, so it never realised its dream of becoming the highest hill in town. If that sounds familiar, it's because it happens to every hill in Boston. Hills are the natural enemies of Bostonians and always will be. Okay. I see his lips move, but there's no sound. Wait here. Too far away. Okay, I can see them coming around the corner, so just wait. I'm not keen on this music, it's putting me to sleep. Hello? Oh, he is saying it really quietly.
I'll have to find the key. Wait here.
Is he just gonna kick it open like he did the other door? I can't get to either of these, I have to get them on the roof. Oh, how am I even going to reach him? Ladder. I missed. That's what he. Cool.
Here we are then.
Why must you always make these things so difficult, Benjamin? Merely provide me with recompense, and all shall be forgiven.
I'll not pay for protection I don't need.
Clearly, you do require protection. Else we wouldn't be here. How very gauche. Now, what shall we do about our guest?
Maybe I'll take his hands. Put an end to his surgery. Maybe I'll take his tongue. Put an end to his waggling. Or maybe I'll take his cock. Put an end to his fucking us.
So many options. I can't possibly decide. Take all three.
No, hold a moment. Perhaps I was hasty in refusing you earlier.
I'm so very sorry, Benjamin. But that door has closed.
Be reasonable, Silas.
Reasonable? I made you an offer.
I rather think I was. But you took advantage of my generosity. I won't be made a fool a second time. I fear I lack the constitution to bear witness to such barbarism. Come find me when you're finished, Cutter.
Cutter?
You'll regret this, Silas. Do you hear me? I'll have your head.
No. I rather think you won't.
Oh. Silas Thatcher, 1720. Silas Thatcher was a nephew of a well-to-do London merchant who purchased a commission for him in the British regulars when he was quite young. He was sent to the colonies in 1750, Portman, where he was posted at the defences along Boston Neck. You won't be surprised to hear that Thatcher had a mean streak. Few men wanted to serve under him, which might be what led to him being posted in Boston in the first place. Living in the colonies was regarded as something akin to exile at the time. Actually, come to think of it, not much has changed. Shut up, Sean. Men who advanced under Thatcher's command were noted for their cruelty, like his personal assistant Cutter, which even you might have guessed is a nickname meaning one who likes to cut things, preferably people. Now, not what I look for in a PA, but there you go. At the time, pay in the army was notoriously bad, and soldiers would often pick up odd jobs in their spare hours to make ends meet. This made them rather unpopular in Boston, where unemployment was rather high. However, Thatcher found something he enjoyed much more, demanding protection money from merchants in Boston. Not only that, but he dabbled in theft, fencing stolen goods and the slave trade. A real Renaissance man, capturing the local indigenous people and selling them off to the highest bidder, which is what he was doing when Hatham found him.
Shove it. Maybe you'll get lucky and pass out. Though I dare say I'll do my best to ensure that doesn't happen. Just a quick little swipe and no more ears. How's that sound, Mr. Church?
At least I'll be spared. Brat.
A little bit from here, a little bit from...
None.
Who are you?
Hatham Kenway, at your service.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
Walk with me, Mr. Church, and all will be explained.
We're here to save you, for starters. So, let's move. Mission complete. There's a page. There it is. Ah. Damn it. I don't like this music track.
Johnson's told me what you intend. As it happens, the man who held me is the same one that you seek. His name is Silas Thatcher.
That fancy lad is our slaver?
Don't let his velvet tongue deceive you. A crueler and more vicious creature I've never known.
What can you tell me of his operation?
He hosts at least 100 men, more than half of whom are redcoats.
All this for some slaves?
Hardly. The man's a commander in the King's troop, in charge of the Southgate Fort.
We need to find a way inside. Let me think on it. In the meantime, I'll attend to our final recruit.
John Pitcairn's our man. I'll take you to him.
Cool. But this music has made me quite tired, so I'm gonna head off. This has been pretty fun so far. I look forward to continuing it very soon. Maybe next stream, maybe the one after, because I also want to slot in other games too. Regardless, it is currently 3 AM or just after, so it's time for me to head off. So thank you all for tuning in, hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that follow button so you know when the next stream's starting. If you want to watch previous streams, you can check them out on the Cragite Archive YouTube channel. Community Discord is linked down below, and you can help out by liking and retweeting the going live tweets, which helps spread awareness of the stream. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and how do I leave? There we go. And I will see you. Oh. There we go. And I will see you in the next stream. Tomorrow night, or technically today. Late at night.